Wait.
When are we starting?
Yes.
What's happening? Hello?
We're live.
Dad?
Tonight on hello everyone, welcome
Hello
to
and
PATHCO.
welcome to Critical Role.
Yes, hi.
Welcome to the Adventure
welcome
Zone.
to Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm
Onions and Dragons.
Matt Mercer. This is
You do have his hair.
Can I have
I
a Travis
do.
Willingham?
Although mine is not as like mine
I
is more
could see you
curly
as
than
Travis
his.
Willingham. I
Yours
think
is-
that would
yours is
suit.
curlier. I just like
Yeah.
Travis Willingham
Peggers-
because he's very attractive.
Peggers, who do
I
you
look-
want to be of the real-life Critical Role cast?
I mean,
I think you could be a Taliesin.
yeah, actually.
You're quite fine.
Though the thing is, the real question is not who would you want to be. The real question is why would you want to be anyone else than the one and only Sam Riegel?
That's a good point. I kind of forgot about Sam.
He has voice
Yeah,
as
he is.
to
How
Phoenix
can you
Wright as
forget
Tony.
about the best part of Critical Role?
I don't have my singing talents, that's how.
Good point.
Mm.
You're very quiet to me, Hank.
You are.
you loud to
Sorry,
yourself?
how about now?
That's much
I actually
better.
had you on 50% volume for some crazy reason.
No, you were
so-
quiet
Just
anyway.
falls to 50.
Yeah, Discord is just doing weird. Anyway,
Anyway, let's get
Hi,
going.
welcome to PATHCO.
these intros are getting worse and
This is
worse
the
by
worst
the
one.
episode.
This was not good.
I
But
don't know.
I
About
think
the
that
one
like the
just had
final
one-
episode of PATHCO is not even gonna have any PATHCO in it.
What
It's
if
gonna be
it's
an
just
hour
the
of
first
it.
episode of
2
the Adventure
hours
Zone and we do a
of
time loop?
prolonged intro of banter about tangentially related topics.
That'd be good. Have we done a PATHCO zone before? I thought we were
Yes,
talking
we
about
have.
it. for a
We
while.
did one
Yes,
after
we did
the Road to Top
Oh, we did one after the final one.
we did as well. Yes,
Good.
cool. Okay,
I
so
can hear
hello
myself on
everyone.
the screen.
Welcome
Hello.
back to PATHCO. I'm Mon,
Hi.
the DM. These are my players, Jack,
Hi.
Hello.
Ag, and Heg.
I like that Ag and Haggis didn't get an opportunity to say hi. That's my favourite
I
part.
was
They're
just-
interchangeable.
Honestly,
was
I really don't know where I'm taking this, guys. Just
I was
start
honestly
the
just more
episode.
amused by we have Jack, Egg, Ag, and Heg. It's like
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, I didn't get a time to say hi that time.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Anyhow, last time we left our heroes in a strange laboratory underneath the old cathedral of Blackwater in the Plague District, where they have encountered all of Peachwood's former apprentice, Chadwick Crumble, who is doing all kinds of bizarre investigations himself, and who has procured the body of the aforementioned All of Peachwood. And I believe we left our heroes last when Thyra was about to perform Speak with Dead on the man's corpse.
Yeah, and we took a week off so that I could really, have it in my mind about what questions to ask. And then I
Yeah.
forgot that I was supposed to do that and didn't.
I think we all did really.
All right. So, you are, as you were, in the crypt lab, and you're looking at all of Peachwood, who looks like Steve Buscemi with a beard.
There is a picture, but we don't
lying-
have it right now.
I'm sorry?
There is a picture of him, but we don't have it right now because someone didn't put it in the handouts.
Wait, was that Peachwood? I thought it was,
Oh, Chadwick.
Crumble.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Yes, that's
don't know what
the
Peachwood
picture in
looks
the handouts. That's Chadwick Crumble, so the assistant.
He's not here though, is he? It's not in the handouts.
sorry?
It's not in the handouts though.
Oh, seriously?
Nope.
Oh,
yeah, I
bugger.
don't think so.
Let
I'm
me. I'm
bracing
actually
you,
now
but-
not on my laptop, but I'm on my computer, so I can quickly add it to the handouts.
Thank you, Mom.
Uh,
It's just nice to have on screen since I can't draw. So
That's a good point. Like, I do like the old sort of PATHCO streams where we do have the sort of drawing shit because
Yeah, I
it's
miss
draw
that.
stream is nice, but obviously I can only do it when I'm a player.
yeah, it wouldn't really suit as you as a DM as well. I think.
It would be
That would
very.
hard.
It would be very, very hard because I would have
Really
to.
hard.
I would basically have to have. No, it just wouldn't be possible, really.
No, I don't think so.
Where did I put the
Where did we
correct-
go now?
Well, now Chadwick is awaiting your casting of the spell. Really. Where
It says casting time 10 minutes. I just noticed.
nice.
Thyra
Well,
has
that's
been
accurate. To the
Thyra has
situation.
been doing this whole kind of.
Where did I put this bloody picture?
It doesn't even have like material components, so she's just like praying for 10 minutes, and
That's awkward.
she draws like a circle in the air using her holy symbol, and then that like glows into life like a summoning circle, and then she does a few more, and then she probably like lights one of the acorns that she has around her neck on fire after taking it off from around her neck because she's not a crazy person. And you know, fire safetyness is important, and she's wearing a lot of fur. Yep. Then like the body gets like some air in its chest, and now it can respond to 4 questions from me.
To players. Here he is.
Does it now
There
have
he
a
is.
mouth? Or it did have mouth.
So yeah, indeed. So as you
What a
spend 10
reassuring
minutes-
character. I trust him implicitly.
Indeed.
So here we go about trusting him implicitly.
Indeed.
We've met and known far more untrustworthy people than this guy. I mean, Apollyon was part of our party.
Apollyon never tried to milk me for life essence is the thing. I feel
That
like
you
this
know
guy
of.
might...
That you know of.
That's a good point. That's a valid point.
So as you spend 10 minutes preparing your cast of Speak with Dead, everyone is basically just waiting in anticipation for this.
I'm playing I Spy.
That's an ominous game of I Spy as well.
I Spy,
sounded
man.
playful.
It is.
Something beginning with C.
Corpse.
No.
With Steve?
C.
Is it C?
Steve?
C.
Steve?
No, C.
Oh,
Corpse.
C.
And it's not corpse.
Church.
It's not church. That's closer though.
Citadel. That's a
No.
good other name for church.
It was catacomb. None of you guessed
You're
catacomb.
playing. Suddenly, all the light in the room, as Thyra, you are nearing the end of your praying for this spell, because it is, if I remember correctly, a necromancy spell.
Yeah, I believe so.
So all the light in the room sort of dims, and funnily enough, except for Chadwick Crumble's weird sword candle,
Oh,
dagger
good.
candle. So, but because that has sort of a red light, everything is sort of becoming like a photo development room. So everything's becoming like entrenched in this red light of the candle because everything else is dimming. And as you finish your spell, the body of Olaf Peachwood suddenly breathes in and opens its eyes, fluttering its eyelids, and it looks around and very slowly sets itself upright.
Oh, good.
And it
Fantastic.
turns to you. And it doesn't say anything, but it looks at you.
Why were you killed?
As far as I understand it, I was killed because I was much too close to figuring out the identity of the shadows of this city, the people who orchestrate the inner workings of this place that we cannot see.
Okay. How do we learn what you learned?
There are 3 documents that I have hidden over the city. One is in my vault in the merchant's house. It is vault number 131. There is also a cigar box in my office.
I knew it! I knew it!
Inside the cigars are rolled up some of my secret notes.
We didn't fucking burn one of the cigars, did we?
No, we took one that was actually a real cigar, and we left the ones that were secret notes. Fucking hell.
Shit. We're gonna have to break into the fucking place again! Why are we so shit at this?
There are 5 books in which I have consulted that have taught me the most and led me closest to my discoveries. They have the following library codes in the academy, and he gives you the library codes, and I'm just going to copy them to you.
Okay, so we need to break into the university twice more.
Well, I don't need to break into the library. I'm pretty sure I can just put on my...
Is the library a different building? I can't remember.
It's a different wing
library.
Of the same building.
The thing is, there is the Caramond library, which is mainly the medical library, but also has some other stuff housed there.
Oh,
and
that was
there is the library inside the universe, which is sort of scattered throughout the university itself.
Yeah.
But
so we're going to have to break into at least 2 libraries.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Okay, that is how he answers that question.
2 more questions.
Who killed you?
There we go, that's the one.
He might not know.
A creature whose identity I am unsure of. It appeared from thin air in my office, materializing from the microscopic ember demons. It had no face, and the texture of many small pinpricks of light coalesced together in a humanoid form. I killed it, but 3 more appeared instantly and overpowered me. I do not remember anything past that point.
Alright, so I've got 4 questions, but I don't really know what to do for the 4th. Any ideas, fellas?
We have a PATHCO huddle.
PATHCO huddle.
We could ask him how he would recommend us progressing.
Well, I think... Well, that's
I
interesting.
don't think he was progressing very far, to be honest. I think he died.
I mean, like, you know...
So... I'm interested in hearing a little bit about... let me just bring up my notes. I'd opened up a different one by mistake. Oh, no, that's the wrong one.
God, what if the person
cigar box?
Wait, hang on.
Not relevant right
one
now.
second.
You do have an idea for getting that. That's good.
Yes.
Well, like...
It
doesn't seem particularly hard to break into that place. I mean, I managed to do it, and I'm incompetent.
Well, we did it.
Wait, was I there? I can't remember in canon.
You didn't really do anything, but you found some stuff. That was good. That was helpful.
Oh, thank you. You were very helpful too.
I was sort of the one that got us in, though. But I don't think it's going to work twice. So my second idea, it mostly just involves breaking a window.
That seems reasonable. I'm pretty sure Glanvar can scale up like a 4th floor window, right?
He did last time.
Yeah, we know where it is now, which is the main part.
Okay, so...
is it worth asking about Lab 4? And how they tie into any of this?
That could be a good idea, because like the notes about them didn't really get finished, because he died before he could really finish them, so... It would be good to know
what Lab 4 up to?
Okay.
Tell me! Tell me! Thyra is grabbing the corpse by the lapels and shaking it back and
You're gonna
forth.
knock his head off.
It doesn't
don't do
have
that.
lapels. It's just
Why
it's
the fuck
basically
doesn't it have
naked.
lapels?
It's covered with a cloth, but that's about
Okay.
it.
Okay, well, we put a shirt on.
We put a shirt on and then shake it by these lapels. I take off my shirt and put it on the corpse and then shake it by my lapels.
Okay. Chadwick Crumble is looking at all this, and he is like saying, "People puke when they come into my laboratory, as if I'm the weird guy here."
Quick, please, we're trying to investigate. This is of vital importance.
I'll trust your ways, I suppose. The corpse of Peachwood answers, "I don't know. They shadowed me,
Right.
and the stalking became increasingly frequent as I conducted more and more research. It culminated in some petty thefts, but they did not seem to know what they were looking for and stole insignificant things. However, when I confronted them shortly before my death, it was impossible for me to get them to admit that they actually had followed me around. Whenever I asked them about it, I was simply met with, 'I don't know anything about that.'"
Okay, well,
And
that
as
was
your-
less helpful, but still.
and
Well,
as
so
your-
give us some information, like the fact that it was
Hang on,
literally...
I think Mon was narrating your...
Sorry.
So yeah, and as your fourth question is asked and answered to an extent, the air flows back out of the mouth of Olaf Peachwood's corpse, and he just plops back onto his slab.
His eyes turn into little X's, and yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Okay,
and suddenly
well, I
all
hope
the lights
everyone-
are back to normal.
Good. It was dark in here. Alright, I hope everyone has what they want to know from that fucking corpse, because it's going to take 10 days until I can do it again.
Is there ever gonna be a corpse left in 10 days? Well, I guess
A
if you're getting
week, sorry.
involved.
Well, I think it.
Well,
I think you
mean,
can do
if
it with
I've got some
skeletons.
preservatives, if you really, I mean, I think I might only have a few bottles of formaldehyde left.
I don't think we really want to hang
Okay.
around here for
I've been
7 days.
using an awful lot of that lately.
I really don't want to. I don't want to
reason
hang
we're-
around here specifically.
Yeah, not in the plague quarter.
I mean, literally this building.
The fact that the assassin coalesced out of these miasma sprites is concerning.
And I
They should
didn't
be,
know that they were around in the regular city. I thought they were only here. But obviously they can move, which is worrying.
Have you heard anything about that?
Chadwick.
Crumble? Chumble?
Well, I actually tried to get into the plague quarter so that I could
Well, you succeeded.
set up a base. I actually tried to get into the plague quarter because first of all, I wanted to actually investigate the plague itself because I had a hunch that it wasn't, a plague to begin with. However, I also got in here, tried to get in here because I wanted to set up a base of operations where the guard wouldn't usually come. Because you see, that's actually one of the things that I'm most happy about in this situation. You see, there is something, though I still haven't figured out what, that prevents all kinds of divination magic being cast in this city.
Yeah, we've
Have
noticed.
you noticed that? Yeah.
It's very
Well,
annoying.
Yeah, it's really fucking inconvenient.
It is very annoying. However, it also means that no divination magic can be cast to find us. Because as far as I can tell, it seems to be that it's not discriminatory on who casts it.
It's just like a blanket.
So what I
a blanket
think,
ban.
or at least, I'm sorry.
So it's just a blanket ban. It's not like the bad guys can still cast magic, but we can't. It's like no one can cast it.
Well, no, I don't think so, because I've never seen any of the guard use divination magic, nor have I seen it ever studied or used at the academy. So I assume that whatever is blocking it is just leveling the whole field.
How long has it been
So
like
I
this for?
think,
Has it always been like this?
well, as far as I can remember, yes. However, what I think it is, now that apparently these things are well spread in the main city as well, what I think is probably the case is that these things, and he points at the jars of the weird thingies, are not only an actor for whatever miasma is spreading around here, they're also a means of surveillance. They're a substitute for divination magic within the city, if you will. That's what I think. So that's why I've made double sure to keep this place shut and free of these creatures, so that, well, I am a blind spot, effectively, in their only means of broadly surveilling the city without the guard.
Well, that makes sense, especially if they can somehow coalesce them into these assassin-type.
Yeah, that's certainly something that I've never seen them do, so that quite disturbs me.
How can we? Is there a way of like clearing them out of an area? Obviously, the plague quarter itself is.
Well, we already know that
saturated.
positive energy kills them.
Yes, well, positive energy kills them, and considering that you've got a cleric with you, well, you could certainly just channel positive energy and clear them out of a small range for a reasonable amount of time.
Especially if it was outside of the plague quarter, we could sweep a room relatively simply. That's good.
Indeed. However, I do wonder. If they're also outside. I wonder what their. I suppose it might just be surveillance, but. I'm
or they're
wondering
looking
about
to
what
spread the plague or something.
I'm wondering. Yes. Well, I'm wondering about what their purpose is outside of the plague quarter, because I've been assuming that these things are the actual agent of the plague coughing sickness, if you will. I've studied a few victims, if you will, and it actually seems that these things indeed coalesce in the lungs of the deceased plague victims. However, that leaves me at a loss, although I suppose it must just be surveillance then, what they do in the main city. That might also be why I haven't really seen them there, because there's probably a lot less around. And going from that, maybe you'd need a higher concentration or something to actually cause the plague, but this is all very confusing. I need to work on this.
Okay, shall we go steal your dead master's shit?
That sounds like a plan to me.
I mean, we've kind of been doing
here,
it already,
wait.
so...
Take this. And he goes to the side,
dangerous
picks
to
up
go
the
alone.
crate. It is dangerous to go alone. Take this. And he gives you a
magic sword. Thank you.
I'm afraid I haven't really got a magic sword. Well, I suppose I have a magic knife lying around. I'm not really sure what use you'd have for a knife that... Never mind,
No,
actually.
I'm good.
Forget that I mentioned that knife. Make no mention of it ever again.
Will do.
Anyhow, take this, and he sets a crate of bottles in front of you. And he says, these are potions of cure light wounds. Or at least, that's what they should be. But I've upped the concentration of positive energy in them, so that hopefully when you drink these, you should be immune to whatever effects these things cause for a reasonable amount of time. It's what I've been handing out to the people here in the plague quarter.
Does it mean that if we drink them now, and then we go back to where there isn't a plague, we won't get the plague? It won't,
Yes,
like,
assumedly,
come back?
that's the idea, and it seems to be working pretty well.
Oh, good, thanks, man.
here you go.
Is it
And
like an
so you
actual
can
huge
distribute,
crate?
Yeah, well,
I figured it was like a bottle crate or
yeah,
something.
it's like a bottle crate. So,
Okay,
Like
so-
16 soda bottles in it or something?
yeah, it's
Are we
got
just gonna shove it in my handy haversack?
it's got
That's a
10
good point.
potions of cure light wounds in it, who function
Modded
as normal
cure
potion
light
of
wounds.
cure light wounds, but they also have the side effect of making you, let's say, immune to the plague germs or the plague miasma for 2 hours.
Cool. Are we gonna dump them in my heavy handy haversack? It seems like it'd be unwieldy to carry around otherwise.
Yeah,
Indeed.
that seems sensible.
I'm probably gonna say that I don't think I'll be able to fit anything else in this thing because it's not it's got a limit as to how much stuff you can put in it. It's not like a handy haversack. I mean, not like a bag of holding.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll continue my research. Actually, just a little thing. If you happen to come across the Academy again, as you were saying, there are some... Well, bluntly put, there are some notes that I'd like you to steal.
I mean, we're
If
studying
you
stuff
can.
anyway. We might as well.
They're normally located in the chemical engineering department of the library. There's a book that's called... There's a book that's called Synthesis of Complex Sugars.
That was tasty.
Indeed. Now, what I did shortly before I was kicked out of the academy was I hid those notes between the inside of the cover of that book. So they are hid between the inside cover and the outside part of the cover, stuck between there, if you will.
Okay.
But you can really just bring me the book.
Sure. We're going to steal some books anyway. We might as well.
Indeed.
What's one more?
Right. Well, good luck, I suppose. Let's see. I'll try to see if I have any tools that I can give you that might help you, but right now, this isn't the most oversightly place, and well, I don't really keep well track of all the things that I've gathered around here. A bit of a scattered mind, you see. But anyhow, when you come back, I might have something for you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, by the way, if you... Although, should I really...
You can trust us, says Dave, wearing his most trustworthy face.
No, it's not really that. I trust you, mostly
Thanks.
because, well, you're not one of the freaks here in the city that just keeps saying, I wouldn't know anything about that, to any inconvenient question that's asked of them. But
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that.
very,
Sigmund, please.
Everyone gives them like the point of like, aha.
very, very funny, very funny. Never mind. Just go on your mission already.
Okay, thanks.
And actually, look out for... you remember me mentioning the Chancellor, right?
yes,
Chancellor
definitely.
of the Academy, Maximilian Michaels. You should look out for him. He's an unnerving kind of fellow. I've always really tried to stay out of his tracks, but like... anyhow, just keep out of his way. He's a creep. You shouldn't deal with him.
That random man.
No, Thara. Let's go.
No, I think I've got this. I understand. I'm reading between the lines here.
No, let's just go. Let's go get some answers. And steal
Yeah,
some more
I
things.
really want to leave. I hate it here.
And now we have to get the plague. Yay! Thanks, man.
Cool. go up, make sure to switch the lever and although, well, I suppose that you're already decontaminated, so you wouldn't have to do that when you leave. Never mind, you leave. But when you come back, make sure to switch on the what's his name? Mendacious. Switch on old Mendacious when you come in. Be sure to decontaminate
yeah.
with these weird germs.
Okay, will do.
All right. And he sort of puts his. You can see that he has. There's one of the holding a hand out in like a clutch gesture, and he puts the dagger candle in it so that it's holding that for him, and he goes back to work.
Bye.
Bye.
Guess we're leaving.
Yes, indeed. Okay. So, where do you make your way to next? We are currently, I think, this probably about late afternoon, I'd say.
Could go
Out
back.
of the plague quarter.
Yeah, out of the plague quarter. We take the sewers. We could go back to the library and we could get those books, and then maybe, hopefully by then, it might be a bit darker, so we can get the cigar. But again, I don't know, how long do you think the merchant's house will be open for? I guess we'll probably need the key for the vault, right? I guess that might be in his office as well. We should have asked him that. Oops. I mean, I could pick locks.
Yeah, now that I think about it, just a box number isn't really terribly helpful to get access to something.
Well, that's the information we've got. What do you think? Should we go get the vault first, and then get the rest of the stuff?
Oh, I could just warp metal. I forgot I had the
that's
ability
handy.
to do that today.
Where's
I
the
could-
merchant's house?
Me and I don't know, Glamvar, to swap the team up, could go and rob a bank vault while you guys are getting some books.
Okay.
Okay, the merchant's house is number 9, which is... Where is it? Oh, it's actually really close to the inn.
Maybe we need a different bolt hole in that case. I feel like that could be a little obvious.
We could try the old bluff trick. But... Well... We could try your idea. Of you and Glavar trying to get the box, and me and Sigma can go get some books and things.
Yeah, couldn't hurt. I mean, anyone else have any thoughts?
No, I think... Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it.
Oh, and see what happens. Probably badly.
Cool. Okay, so as you move back to the inn through the sewers,
I bring
get a
Toast with me.
stamp on your sewer clam card from Tim. He
Thank God,
asks-
I was worried about that.
Yeah, you do get a stamp. He asks you how your adventure went.
It went
Absolutely
fine.
traumatizing, Tim. How was your day?
Oh, okay. There he is.
Let me. Well, I've been just sitting here and waiting for people to come by and eating scraps that my rats gathered, and well, just same old, same old. You wouldn't like to hear a story about this rat, would you?
Thyra is running.
Not today, Tim. Thank you. Bye, Tim.
All right. Be sure to come back.
We don't
Please
have any
come
choice.
back.
Well, I guess, out of character, would it be Thyra and Glanvar going back up to the inn so they can just walk to the merchant's place, and me and Sigmund carry on
yeah.
to the, The other place, the
Okay,
university.
Sure, that sounds good.
Since we've got this all cleared out, we've got ourselves a super highway that smells real bad, but it gets the job
Indeed.
done.
So Sigmund and Dave, you guys are headed through the sewers again to the academy. Thyra and Glanvar, you are
Very tired, apparently.
excuse me. You are headed to the merchant's house. So as you walk down the streets, you quickly spot it because it's a very large. It's sort of an aggregate almost of multiple very Amsterdam-like buildings. It's very sort of medieval Amsterdam, and it looks very big. It looks bigger than any of the close by houses, and there's a lot of foot traffic here. There's a lot of people walking around. It's a very crowded street. There are people bringing in carts of merchandise, of carpets, of paints, of fish, of all kinds of other things. There's a lot of people. There's some auctioning going on outside. People are shouting. Like part of it is like you can see a fish auction going on in close proximity to like the fish markets, and you can hear a lot of other chattering. There's a lot of people here who seem to be a bit more on the wealthier side of Blackwater, since they have more colorful clothing, more elaborate hats, which is of course the best indicator of someone's wealth, the elaborateness of the hat. And yeah, it's a lot of people here. It is very busy at the merchant's house. There is a main entrance, and you can see that there are carts going to and fro to what seems to be a service entrance as well.
Out there.
Oh, for a second I
This is
thought that was
something?
me.
Oh no, sorry. So there is the main entrance, and judging by the cart and wheelbarrow traffic, it seems that there is a service entrance.
Right. Glanvar, you used to rob a lot of people and were just sort of a general ne'er-do-well. How would you handle that?
Glares.
What? What?
That was a long
So,
time.
Glanvar, you're a criminal.
Yeah, wow.
I said were. I did say past tense.
Can I make a perception check to see any obvious routes that might help him get into the building?
Yes, you definitely can.
Can we be doing that thing where we're sat at like a cafe table across the street from the place,
Oh,
like
yeah,
casing it out?
Definitely.
Because cafes are well known in this area.
Yes, yes. You're sitting at a cafe.
Well, it's a table
across the
outside of a
street.
tavern. Then maybe that makes
Yeah,
more.
it's
A bar.
I think that like
Yeah.
Blackwater has, especially in this area, there might be a couple of cafes.
What if it's like a chocolate house? What if we go full like fucking late 1800s and it's like a drinking chocolate house? Would that
I
suit?
think that things
For a
like
second,
that are probably in the entertainment district.
Oh, okay.
But this is, I mean, they probably have that kind of thing in the
For a second, I
entertainment.
thought you meant like a chocolate house like Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, right.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Yeah,
Fucking
just in the middle of
wow.
like the Amsterdam brick houses, there's just this gingerbread house. Okay, so you're sitting in a cafe across the street with newspapers, and with a 32 in perception, you meticulously analyze what you can see of the building, and even your your monk skills, your ability to innately sort of sense the flow of what you might say energies and just the general flow of power and soul and the movements of the current, if you will, which is how I'm sort of trying to contextualize your very, very high perception rolls. You notice that there's the service entrance, which is frequented by the servants, the salesmen, the people who are bringing in the auction goods, because the merchant's house is, for a large part, an auction house. You can tell that is where a lot of traffic goes, and that that is probably a good way to sneak into a place like this, because there would be a lot of unknown faces from across the city just passing through there. And it would also allow you to reach the servants' quarters, which usually provide entry into corridors that span sort of the backstage of the merchant's house, if you will. You can tell that there's elaborate mason work on the outside. Judging by the architecture, you can see that climbing up this building would probably be quite feasible. But you do notice that there are iron iron bars in front of the windows to prevent entry from outside. So considering that this is an auction house and has vaults as well, you think that there is probably a reasonable amount of security. Not so much the guards, it seems, but apparently there is security of the merchant's house itself, which are sort of kind of Swiss Guard-looking people who are wearing the colors of the merchant's house, which are a bright sort of purple and yellow, and they are standing guard here. You can spot one or two patrolling in through the windows, so they are inside as well. You can see one large chimney, which might be another interesting point of entry. And you've also spotted some pamphlets which have been announcing an auction that is happening tonight. And this is a painting auction that is going on. And they are expecting a lot of visitors for that.
Oh god, that's a lot of different ways in.
That
So,
is
did
a lot
you-
of different
did you
ways
not
in. That
see
is
very
also a
much?
32 on perception, so you are
Good
getting
point.
all ways in.
A lot
I
of
know,
bang
but
for your
that's a
buck.
bit of an overload now.
It's Sherlock style. He's got lots of words floating around him.
Yeah.
If I've
So
learned anything from
basically,
playing
to
Hitman,
summarize, you've got the servant entrance, you've got a large chimney, you've got an opportunity tonight because there is a painting auction. Those are the three immediate things that you see. As a side note, entry through the windows and such might be very difficult because it seems that this place has a reasonably high security.
Thyra has drank most of her pint.
It's like, you're right there, Glenn, you seem to have spaced out for the last half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glanvar, I've been trying to talk to you for 45 minutes.
I can see through
I've
ways
been
in.
trying to talk to you conveniently for 32 minutes.
I love this. It is like a detective thing. Like Glanvar sitting there, like
He turns on
see
detective
three
mode.
ways in, and then you get like the blueprint scan of the building.
Probably that whole thing where it shows us like trying each entrance and stuff like that.
Mm.
Anyway,
Glanvar
sorry, you were saying.
turns to look at Thyra, and he muses to himself, I wonder how well we can make you look like a servant.
Okay, I'm already not a huge fan of this plan, but alright.
The
I mean, I'm
alternative
wearing
is,
armor and shit already. I could pretend to be like a mercenary or something, you know. I've seen
well, the
Sigmund do it.
alternative is you go down the chimney with me.
Oh, I see. Are we doing a two-pronged attack?
No, but
Oh.
that or we wait till this evening.
I feel like there's going to be more people. Wait, what's happening this evening? You haven't told me this in character. I have no perception
No,
as to
exactly,
why
it's
this
not-
evening.
I haven't got to that bit yet.
Also in character.
Yeah, all of that was in character.
Amazing.
He kind of nods over to the pamphlet person with the pamphlets. It would appear that there's an event going on tonight. We may be able to sneak in that way, but surely time is of the essence right now.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a solid thingy of the situation.
Right.
Assertion.
We need to go in now then via the servant entrance.
We go in now and we go in loud.
We don't go in loud.
We go in now and we go in quiet.
Exactly.
Okay. How good are you at lying to people?
He muses to himself. Probably slightly better than you.
That admittedly is probably a fair assertion, considering I have a -1 to it. If you were to sort of scale these things, in some kind of numerical format, perhaps on some kind of sheet.
Barry's not here. You can't talk about stuff like that without him.
That's a good point. Thanks, mystical voice of Dave in my head. Okay, I have a divine spell. Oh, but it'll only work on
As a
me.
character, we both suck at lying.
Yeah. I do have Channel Vigor, which I can use on myself only, but will give me a +6 bonus to bluff and intimidate checks, though. So
Is it
I'm
a
thinking...
divination spell?
No, it's transmutation.
Ooh,
it just
you're
makes
fine.
me... It makes me fundamentally better.
That sounds good
Nice.
then.
The
Yeah.
alternative, of
That's
course,
the voice
would
of
be
Dave in
you
your
cause a distraction and I'll go down the chimney. I'd rather not go in there on my own, however.
I'm in heavy armor, Glamvar. I'd really rather not be climbing anywhere, if I'm honest. Also, I'm probably... Well, I don't know. Maybe you can get into the bank vault, but I can warp metal open the bloody doors. Alright, are we doing this? You what?
With that, he just takes his water and downs it.
Whoa, easy there.
Oh,
You need to be clear-headed ahead of... Oh, never mind. I forgot. I thought that was vodka for a second. Alright, let's move.
okay, cool.
Thyra turns up the collar of her jacket and gets up.
Nice. So as you guys are moving, making a move on the merchant's house, yeah, that's true. That is very funny. Sigmund and Dave,
Meanwhile,
you have exited the sewers. You're currently in the storage room of the academy.
is that jackass still here?
Charming.
I can't remember what his name was! He was a bit annoying though. Was it Edwin?
Oh,
Edwin.
you mean the guy that you encountered last time? What's his name again? Edwin
Edwin?
Waterfront.
There he is.
Yeah, he's not here. There's currently, lucky for you, no one here.
Okay.
Okay, Dave. So how are we handling this? Are we just stealthing through? Because we've got to go to the library, and are we going to try and get the cigar box as well since we're here?
Yeah, I think Toast might be able to help with that. Because she could just fly in through the window and grab it.
Speaking of Toast, as you
I picked her
exited
up before
the
we-
church a while ago,
Yeah.
Toast would have come back to you,
Yeah, yeah.
noting that there are a lot of like these teleport warp places over the plague quarter and some in like the city as well. So it seems that Chatwick's
He's
been getting
popping
around.
About. Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah,
Good girl,
stealth
Toast.
dwarf. Yes, nice.
I give us a birdseed.
Hmm.
And she is currently with me. Or maybe I might have just sent her to like fly overhead so she doesn't have to go through the sewers. If one of us could be spared that fate. So she's probably wheeling about overhead at the moment then. Well, Sigmund, here's my idea.
Do you think... Okay.
I pretend to be a student again,
All right.
and I take out the books that we need, and then we just walk off with them.
Okay. I like
Or
that
I
plan.
can shovel them into my back. Oh, by the way, did we all take one of those plague potions while we were en route?
Yeah, you guys could have
Okay.
distributed those however you wanted.
I will choose to believe that there is therefore enough space in my back again, or I can just shove them in my handy haversack and just leave.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We could take some of that. We could do the act distribution on screen.
Yeah, I would actually rather that you decide now whether, because you've split into teams. So
Okay.
Well, how
I
many
would
did we
like
get
to
to
know-
begin with?
I would like to know
10.
what the distribution is.
I don't think I need one as a cleric. I'm kind of a sorcerer.
True.
That's a very fair point.
Should I just keep all of them then?
Well, in that case, you can have one just to be on the safe side in case you cure somebody else, and everyone else can have 3 because there was 10 each. Was that right? There was
No,
10
that's
Yes.
total.
solid. I'm on board for that,
That's
sure.
very sensible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tara has 1, everyone else has 3.
I will change.
Okay, that's good. Then you can all note that down.
Well, I guess I've now
What
got
level
2.
again? Sorry.
Each of you, except for Thyro, who has 1, have have 3 potions of cure light wounds, which also, when drunk, make you immune to the weird little demonic plague
Plague
miasma
thing.
for 2 hours.
I will have drank one on the way out because I don't want to have the plague.
Oh yeah, I think Sigmund will have drank one on the way out as well, so he's only got 2 right
Mhm.
now.
All right.
All right.
That just seems sensible. So
Yeah.
we're probably in the last half an hour.
Yes, I would say that.
We're
Yeah.
probably not going to get the plague while we're here. That's kind of the point.
Well, you never know. They
never
can
know.
apparently.
Yeah, good point, actually.
Um,
Well, at least we've got some backups now. And we could probably always go and ask for some more from, Thingy. Chadwick.
Yeah, Chadwick. But okay, so I think you're going to be well enough just going in and getting any of the books that are there.
Mhm.
I think while we're here, we should probably try and get the cigar box as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm wondering if I could see... Because can you remember... Wait, you weren't there. Were you there? No, you weren't there. When we went... I can't remember if we left the cigar box out or not, or if they might have taken it away. I just want to see... If it was out, then I could probably send Toast in through the window to grab it. But if not...
It was just sitting on his desk, yes.
I could probably mage hand the window open from, like, down below, and then she could fly in and pick it up.
Well, we should give that a go. Let's give that a go first.
Okay, good idea. Let's do that.
What is the range on Mage Hand?
I don't know. I might need to be thrown into something by Sigmund.
Yeah, so I was going to say the range is, well, modified by the amount of how far. Like Sig can throw Dave.
It's... Mage hand... 30 feet.
30 feet.
Plus
Oh,
the 3 feet, that is...
I've also
my
noticed I've
height.
taken some. Has our strength damage?
That
yeah.
has healed. That
Okay,
has
go for that.
returned to you. Yes, you can put that back on its normal level.
Phew.
Is that likewise for me?
Yes.
Nice. Fantastic.
Back up to 4 strength. Yeah.
So, I think 30 feet. I always.
What if I sat on Sigmund's shoulders? That would give us like an extra 6 feet.
I'm gonna throw Dave high in the air.
Because this is a pretty big building, and Olaf Peachwood's office is on
on
the
the second
not
floor?
not on the ground floor. It is on the first floor.
I would say that like 36 feet then, if I sat on Sigmund, would probably be enough.
I'm gonna throw you in the air. You've got to do it whilst you're.
Well, if we can avoid having that happen, that would be great. But if that is what we need to do,
I
it.
think that we'll need to get an extra few feet because, well, this building is basically like, for instance, the Natural History Museum in London. So it
so
has
it's like 20 feet floors, basically.
yeah, it has like 20 feet
okay.
floors.
Okay.
what's my climb skill again? It's not awful.
I will note, for one, you are currently inside the academy.
Oh, yeah, we need to get outside. Maybe we
Oh,
should
we
do the books
are.
first.
Yes,
Not
we came in through the
outside.
sewers. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Should we get the books first? Because I think we're more likely to be spotted if we're outside, so it makes sense to do at least one
Books
thing.
first, and then we'll just leap around and we'll go out the front door again. Okay, that makes sense.
Cool, let's find
Yeah,
the library.
okay, sure.
Okay. So as you walk through the academy,
I've got my magic
you
sleeves on.
notice that guard presence has more than doubled.
Yeah, that makes sense. We did cause a bit of a ruckus.
So yeah, you can tell that like students are sort of looking a lot more intimidated by all the guards here, making sure to keep walking. And yeah, there are a lot of guards here. You notice that some of them, like a fair amount of them, are carrying guns.
Ooh.
And
Like the kind that I've got, or like guns?
no, the actual like muskets.
Yeah, ones that shoot bullets and not magic. Okay.
And you can tell that some of them also indeed have wand things that you.
Yes, I'm sure Hellhound's
so-
very confused by this. So why do you have a magic gun again, Dave? Let's just say on screen.
We've like scared those like medic guys that had gun wands, and I picked it up because I thought it seemed cool, but I don't have any ammo for it.
Yeah, these were some of the guards in the Plague Quarter had these wand gun things.
It's not a wand gun; it's a gun wand. Get it right, Sigmund.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, there is a very high guard presence here, and yeah, there's overall just a lot more surveillance. And
Okay, Sigmund has an idea.
No,
okay.
be casual, Sigmund. Be casual. What
No,
what
you
was
see,
your idea?
if they've increased the guard presence, that means they've from yesterday. That means there's going to be a lot of guards here that potentially they haven't seen before. That lends credence to anyone that they don't necessarily recognise who happens to be wearing a guard's uniform.
I mean, yes, but also I'm 3 feet tall, and I don't think that would really help. I mean, you could get
No,
some
we've
guard
already
uniform.
got a disguise. I'm thinking about me.
Oh, okay. Well, if you could find one, that would be good. I don't know where we'd get one from. I mean,
Oh,
I
I
don't
do.
know.
I need just patch the laser spades.
I mean, yes. I guess that could work.
We'll be on the lookout to see if there's a guard by themselves that he can just kind of like get behind and triangle choke out.
Do
of.
my magic sleeves work on things other than me?
Magic sleeves are a magic item,
Sleeves
so
of
you
many
can, for
garments.
instance, give them to Sigmund, and then they would fit him. But they do not extend outwards from you, so they are able to change your appearance, but not anyone else's or anything, as long as you are wearing them.
Okay. So, like, I physically could give Sigmund the sleeves of many garments, as they're technically called. And then you can just make his...
You'll need them, like, for your decision.
Sorry?
For your decision? Sorry, for your... Getting through. Both need to be disguised at the same time. I don't know if they'll buy my PATHCO story again the second time.
Good point.
Do you want me to wait for you out here or something? I mean, can Sigmund get a view for any kind of like guard patrols where there's like maybe a guard by themselves or?
Roll a perception.
I think it probably could work if I use the magic sleeves to get the books, and then I give you the magic sleeves.
Don't
And I
you
could-
still have that healer outfit?
He does.
Yeah, the healer outfit that I am still actively.
You're still wearing that.
I never said I was taking it off, so I.
I mean, decide it at this point.
Yeah.
Are you still wearing it or not?
So Dave, do you think the healer? I mean, well, I think yes, I am still wearing it, and I might stash it somewhere if I need to, because we're in an empty kind of room at the moment. If I poke
Okay.
my head, I'm going to do this perception check, and I'm also going to
Okay.
have a look out to see if like there's any other people like wearing this kind of uniform that might be useful,
Okay.
Because
because
like
it does have a
maybe
mask on it, which is
you
useful.
might still be able to get access to the room if you said, "Oh, I'm a medic. I'm taking samples to do science on." That wasn't a very good
Well,
reception check.
we'll see what I see with that perception check. Yeah, feel free to do one as well if you want, Dave.
8.
Well, when Dave's looking around, I guess.
No, you You definitely do
That's
not
20.
spot any. Sigmund, you definitely do not spot any guards who are by themselves. It seems that there has been an emphasis placed on keeping patrols at 2 guards minimum.
That's smart.
And with a 28, Dave, you look around and you see to your side the guards walking by. They are indeed there are always at least 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the sentries are also positioned in pairs. However, you do look to the side and you see the sickbay, which is quite close to
Oh yeah.
this, which was where you ended up last time, Sigmund. And you see that, and you can hear Dr. Payne. You can hear his voice because it's a reasonably loud voice, just complaining about things. And you can hear him just going, "Well, at least if there was, then I wouldn't have to. Sir, please. Oh, shut it. Then I wouldn't have patching you. Seriously, it's always the and that just sort of going on. You can see that there's a bathroom close by, which might be an opportunity to catch a guard by themselves.
Absolutely, this is all Hitman 2016.
Yep, indeed. But that is what you.
They can't see me in the mirrors.
It definitely does not seem like there are just guards walking around by themselves here.
Well, it does kind of sound like that guy was working on a guard, was he?
Not specifically. That was really just a voice, if you will.
Okay.
Seemed like a student voice.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Dave. I'm going to hide in this toilet, and if a guard comes in, I'm going to knock him out and steal his clothes. And
What if he's a
while
dwarf?
I'm doing that...
What if he's a dwarf?
Well, we'll just have to cross that bridge when we come to it. And unless you want me to come with you to the library, but I think that might just bring additional attention to us that we don't need. I'll leave that decision up to you.
I mean, yes. I don't know, I'm just worried. I feel like knocking out a guard in the middle of all of this.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just worried about it. I don't want you to get in trouble.
I'm always in trouble. That's my secret, Dave.
That is true.
I mean, I suppose my main question is, do you want me to come with you to the library, or do you want me to kind of...
I think I can handle that on my
bring
own. I think I can do that.
Well, I might as well just hide in here then, just on the off chance. And if something comes up, it comes up, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Okay.
And then we can, in an hour, I'll meet you back here, and we can figure out what we're doing then. Unless I'm not here, in which case, assume something's gone wrong or well, and pay attention to the screaming, and I'm sure it'll become obvious which one of those two it is.
Okay. Sure.
So, if something comes up and I have an opportunity to go after the things, I'll do a cry like toast outside, and that's the signal to get out of Dodge.
I mean, okay, sure, why not?
Unless you have another idea.
No. I'm not very good at all of this. Sneaking around.
So, Dave, as you are making your way to the library, and Sigmund, you are hiding in the bathroom. How are you trying to be hidden in the bathroom?
Just I'm
hoping there's some kind of cupboard in there I can hide in.
A cupboard?
Or a stall.
There are some stalls, yes.
Yeah, I'll hide in one of the
so
stalls.
You can do that.
And I'll lock it and put my feet up so they can't see that.
Okay. So in the
Oh, if you really wanted to sell it,
Fyra and-
Dave could write up an out of order sign to stick on the front.
Oh yeah, very good.
I'll do
Excellent.
that before I leave.
Mhm.
I do
Okay,
have
cool.
some paper and a pen with me.
Very interesting. So Dave, sorry, Fyra and Glanfar.
That's not me.
In the meantime, you guys, if I remember it correctly, could you remind me what your plan of entry was?
We were going to try and sneak in with the servants into the servant entrance.
Okay. So as you are going by this, you are passing by all the servants. You can tell that there are some butlers, some waiters, a lot of just people who are shipping, import and export through this merchant's house. There are some what do you call them? Just some cleaners having a smoke outside. Nobody is really paying a lot of attention to you here. There are a few like guards of the merchant house security here, but they seem to not be really paying attention to anyone's face because there's a lot of traffic here. So you can feasibly enter through this way.
Nice.
And as you come through, you come into a courtyard of the merchant's house, where there are a lot of wagons stationed, and where everyone just seems to be going their different ways. You can see that there are big double doors that are going to the storerooms, or at least that's what you would assume, given that everyone with goods is going that way. And you can see that there are a few other doors as well, which seem to be frequented by the butlers, the cleaners, and sort of the menials. From the smell, you can tell that at least one of those doors is the kitchen.
Okay, so not the kitchen. It's process of elimination. Here we go. So we're after a safety deposit box here, correct?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Basically.
It likely wouldn't be anywhere servants frequently.
No, I don't think so. I severely doubt it's in like the storage cellar or whatever.
Got anything valuable on you?
Good question, good question. Only my weapons and shit, which I'd rather not be, giving away to just anyone.
You do have a pearl, says the voice of Dave.
What?
Sorry. Nothing, I'm
A
metagaming.
what?
A pearl.
Oh, okay.
I am metagaming though.
Oh, okay. Well,
There's
I
one
already metagamed for fucking I have some cool books.
Anything that might want to get locked up inside a safety deposit
Don't you
box.
have lots of money? Like more money than normal people walk around with?
Wait, that's actually a valid point. We do have a lot of money. But in that case, why did we bother coming in through the servants' quarter?
To get
Good
in.
point.
Yeah. Let's just kind of head upstairs into one of the doors that do not look like the kitchen.
Okay. There are, by process of elimination, 3 doors that you can tell are not the kitchen and not the storerooms. There is a door,
I go for the third one.
Okay. So you take the third one, and you go inside. And this seems to be just corridors that are free. There's some people with like cleaning equipment running through here, like mops and buckets. There is one particular butler who is carrying a large briefcase through. They give you sort of strange looks as they pass by, as you don't seem to be wearing any uniforms. And one of them asks you, excuse me, are you lost? This is simply the servants' halls. You do not look like servants to me. Where do you need to be?
We're new hires.
Oh, is that so? Well, what were you hired for?
Sorry, that was mine. My apologies.
No problem.
Lara gets a text.
Mhm.
Protection duty. Protection duty. On account of our fine military record, we were asked to report to the vault for guard duty. Or, training. It's day one after all.
Oh, well, then you're quite off, but I can point you in the direction you need to be. If it's training, you'd probably want to check up with the security head, whose office is at the moment... You see, we've been shifting around the office a little, you see. But is at the moment, when you come in through the front, you can take the right and the stairs up. Then you come into a sort of the first floor hallway. And then normally you should be able to ask one of the guards there to take you to the security office.
Right.
Much obliged.
Thank you.
No problem. Now, I have some work to do, so I'll be on my way.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm going to just start. Who actually spoke to us? Was it the guy with the briefcase?
Yeah, it was just a butler with carrying like a large briefcase.
Oh, God damn it. I don't want to have to leave and come back in. That feels like it's A, suspicious, and B, boring. I'm going to tap myself twice on one of my pauldrons and cast Channel Vigor. For the next 42 seconds, I have a +6 bonus on bluff and intimidate checks.
Okay.
Excuse me, sorry about that. The head of security actually asked us to meet him at the vault. I know that's a little off procedure from what he said, but would you be able to direct us there if possible?
Okay, so you first of all, what exactly does this channel figure look like, or what is its effect specifically in a narrative sense?
So in a narrative sense, it focuses my energy. I don't really know how that translates into bluff or intimidate checks, but I think it probably just naturally subdues my kind of tells when it comes to bluffing.
Okay.
Like I'm suddenly a lot more kind of, relaxed. It's less like my ears don't wiggle when I lie.
Yeah. I think that you probably, or at least you may have, sort of an extensive aura as well, which doesn't only affect you, but maybe also other people, to be sort of less to less quickly notice that something you are saying doesn't quite line up.
Yeah, it's focused on me. It modifies me. It's a transmutation spell.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
So it's not mind effect altering. It is changing
right.
my body to be better suited for this.
Oh, okay. Very well then. Then indeed it is an effect that only affects you.
So can I try rolling bluff, perhaps, with a +6?
Yes, you would have to roll me bluff then, yes.
Or I can try intimidate.
Well, from the approach that you've taken, that would be a bluff. If you want to roll intimidate, you'd have to come up with another kind of argument.
Just do it.
Intimidate is probably not the right way forward.
Okay.
Because if it fails, we start a fight. Oh.
That's a 13. That's a 13, including my +6.
Still not fantastic.
Okay.
You should have used a golden dice.
It's not
13. No, for this, I think that the servant is going to say, "What are you talking about? The head of security never breaks procedure. Are you sure that you've actually been talking to the real head of security? I think you might have been the victim of a scam or something."
You know what? We'll go and speak to the head of security, and we'll get all this sorted out. Thanks for your time, anyway.
That seems to be the best idea. Yes. Oh, actually, if you want, you can take a shortcut right through here. And he points at a sort of little door that opens up into like a corridor between walls, if you will, for servants to pass through.
Can I do a sense motive to see if he's on the level with this?
Yeah,
I'd
sure.
also like to roll an on the level check, please.
Yes.
Ooh.
Seriously?
Glanvar, your suspicious nature gets the better of you, and you think that this guy is probably leading you into a trap of some sorts. He definitely seems in cahoots with the security here. And Thyra, however, you've seen at your home in Mjolkirk and stuff. You've seen, especially in the churches for church staff. You've seen these kinds of corridors before, and you are well acquainted with them being frequently used to pass between large rooms for servants.
Oh yeah, I get it.
And so this guy seems very believable, and he doesn't seem to be tripping you up or anything like that. And yeah, he points at that and he says, if you take this servants corridor, you should probably end up. If you take this servants corridor, you should end up close to the main entrance hall. At the end, there's a ladder to your right side, which will take you to the hallway of the offices, at the end of which is the security head's office.
Wonderful. Thank you. You really didn't have to do that, and I appreciate it.
Much obliged. We're all here to help each other, no? All right, now I really must get going.
No.
Have a good day, I would say.
Thyra nods and heads into the little side tunnel.
I guess we go after. I guess Glanville follows after her, even though he doesn't trust the trust situation.
Indeed. So you pass through here. You follow the instructions that the butler gave you, and you indeed end up in a long hallway of offices.
Can we have a search around in the kind of ratways and see if there's anywhere to head towards the vault?
Roll me
is it pretty much directly there?
I'm thinking about what you'd have to roll me a stealth to do that, because there are other servants bustling around here, and loitering around would attract their suspicion.
Yeah, that's
Don't
what
worry,
Thyra
guys,
does
I've got
herself.
this.
Oh, mon Dieu.
Thyra immediately falls through the floor.
Okay, so you are just really obviously loitering. You are clearly not one of the servants, and two of them stop you and say, "Hey, you! What are you doing here? Even if you're wait, you don't even have the security uniform. Who are you?"
Thyra looks around like she's they're talking to someone else.
No, you. Come on, speak up, dwarf.
Are they talking to you? Thyra looks to Glanvar confused.
At this moment, Glanval's going to try and disappear in plain sight.
Okay, is there any kind of distraction that you are trying to make? Because
I'm literally going to working off the idea he is that good and they're focused entirely on Thyra currently.
I like the idea of she looks to Glanvar, the camera pans, and he's gone.
Of Thyra turning and saying, "Are they talking to you, Glanvar?" And then you're just gone. So roll me stealth.
That's exactly the thing. They're talking to you.
Yeah, and he's gone.
Just this dotted silhouette outline. What?
Oh no! Oh no!
What?
Oh dearie me! This is not going well.
2 1s in a row.
Infiltration mission, go, Team Dwarf.
Yes. So this is a crit fail, so I'm afraid it doesn't matter what you've rolled. What's happening here exactly, Glanvar? How do you mess this up?
I don't know. I've never had to deal with this before.
I think that as you are turning to disappear,
Glanvar has an emotional breakdown.
you bump into. I think that as you are turning, you bump into another servant who is rushing in your direction, who is carrying like a plate of cutlery, and it just just falls all over the ratway. And like the floorboards are pretty dusty here, and this was cleaned cutlery. And the servant lady is just looking at that and saying, "What are you doing? Why are you not moving? Why are you standing around here in the rat maze, you idiot? Oh, Jesus! I mean, Saint Satoria, what are you doing?" And these other servants also say, "I think you might want to talk to the guards. It seems that you're in a place where you don't belong."
Is it within 42 seconds of... No, 48 seconds of when we were last speaking to that butler guy?
Yes, but this will be the last time that you can use it, I would
Wait,
say.
hang on. What's 6 times 8? Because a round is 6 seconds, right? So yeah.
Yeah. No, okay. No, well, yeah, you can definitely use it.
Okay. I want to try and grab one of the lead servant by their collar and just say, "Listen, fella, we're trying to do one thing here. This one has lapels. I take off my shirt, I put it on him so he has... Oh, fantastic.
Oh no!
No, wait, that's plus 6, so that's a 15.
That's a 15.
Still not awesome.
Yeah, these...
He's
Okay,
basically like,
let's see how gutsy these servants...
every day. Make this be one of them.
Okay,
And tell me where the fucking vault is. Nice.
Nice.
So these servants are looking at you, and this guy is immediately very threatening. He's like, "Oh, let me go! What are you doing?"
Look, I'm here, and there's nothing you can do about that. So it's really for the best if you were, I don't know, cleaning a bathroom or something while this whole encounter went down.
Oh.
Now,
Okay.
where in the fuck's name are the safety deposits boxes here? You guys need some signposts or something? We've been in here for like 5 minutes and we've already crashed into 2 separate people.
So you're after the vaults, eh, thief? Well, you
All
won't get
right.
out of
Well,
me.
that seems harsh. I didn't come in here and call you names. I was very civil about this.
Up until the point where you grab them by the lapels.
I don't remember that. She says, holding them by their lapel. Look, listen. There could be some money in this for you. Potentially all 3 of you. If you decide to tell me where the fucking boxes are, or better yet, just lead me to them.
Okay, I am gonna roll for the other 2 servants. Okay. Oh, there, that fell off the table.
He died.
So that's
He
pretty
experienced a sudden heart attack and exploded.
So this guy who you're holding said, "I'm not gonna tell you anything. You're not getting anything out of me. Please don't hurt me." And the other ones are sort of looking at that guy, and they are sort of looking at the place where they are and looking at their sort of ill-fitting and like pretty awkward like servants' clothes where they're clearly not at home at, and they clearly don't seem to be enjoying this job. So they say, "Okay, what kind of money are you talking about?"
I don't know, like, how much do you earn in a week? What, like 100 gold?
100 gold? What are you talking about? I earn... So this woman says, I earn maybe per week. It's, well, 10, 12 gold if I've done well.
No, you're being... No, sorry, that was 2 questions. What do you earn in a week? And then 100 gold? Question mark. Do you want to do this thing for me? And you will earn 100 gold to do with whatever you please with.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they clearly seem tempted by that offer.
It's a good amount for the.
They clearly seem very tempted by that offer.
I still have this man by the scruff in my
Yeah.
other hand, by the
And
way.
the one that you have by the scruff, first of all, was like all stalwart, and then he says, "For each of us."
What?
God damn it.
210 for each of. No, 210 between all three of you.
Jesus Christ, what's with your
70
haggling skills?
70 gold pieces each. Fuck, I don't know. I usually leave Dave to do this. I'm not very good at it. 70 gold pieces each, and you never hear from me again. Especially not in the middle of the night when I kick your fucking door down. Especially you.
All right, fine.
And she shakes
fine,
the guy.
Fine.
Can Glanvar join in this intimidation effect?
Yes, you can for sure.
Please, for the love of God, do. Why didn't you before?
Don't roll another one.
Please
Roll a
don't.
1. Roll a 1.
Please don't roll a 1.
Oh, don't jinx it.
Are you the new
Glanvar
Napoleon
suffers
in the absence
cardiac
of
arrest.
Napoleon? Oh, thank God.
Oh, that's a
16.
16.
Thank fuck for that.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Worse
pretty good. That's good enough for these servants. They say,
He just,
all right,
he just,
fine.
he just approaches over Thyra's shoulder and glowers.
Nice. I actually think that this guy who you're holding by the lapels is like he's not being lifted up because you're a dwarf, but
Yeah.
he is just like
It's
standing
literally the
there.
opposite. I have him dragged
Yeah.
down, so he's like
Have him
bent
burned
over.
down with the lapels. So these people are pretty intimidated by you, and they also are very interested in this money. And then they say, "All right, fine. But what are you looking for? Which vault? There's two vault rooms.
Love God.
One in the
Remember.
cellar."
Thyra, please.
Glanvar, please tell me you remember which vault we're looking for.
Guys, please. Please, guys, please. I thought you were taking notes, Thyra.
Okay, out of character, Jack did not take notes. In character, I feel like it's very reasonable for Thyra to have been taking notes.
Yeah. The vault that you're looking for is 131.
Wait a minute. Thyra takes out her journal, which is like pink and has glitter on it, and says Thyra's journal on it.
No.
And
Wait
has,
a
like, a
minute, she
lock
hands
on
the
it?
guy's lapels to Glanvar.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I
Hang on,
like
can
it.
you just hold this guy? Thank you. So she leaves. Dear diary, today was great. Blah 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 blah. Ah, Vault 131. Fantastic.
All right, 131. That's going to be in the cellar then. All right. Okay. Follow us. We'll lead you to it.
Fucking fantastic.
And then the one who is carrying the cutlery says, "Actually, this cutlery really needs to go through the kitchen right now, guys.
Okay,
but I'll
fine.
join you in a moment. Could you
All right.
both roll me a sense motive, please?"
Quick, roll an on the level check.
Oh, that's good.
I know exactly who's on the level or not. Glanvar, can you confirm who's on the level, please?
I don't know. Can I?
Oh,
you just
buddy.
need to roll sense motive.
He's crippled by indecision.
He's crippled by doubt. Okay, yeah, that's very high. You both clearly see a wink passing between these two servants.
Well, I mean, if you don't come with, you're not getting your 70 gold. I mean, it's really telling of whether a plate full of cutlery is, worth 70 gold.
All right, fine. And these three servants are going in front of you and saying, "All right, follow us. We'll take you to the cellars." But there's only so far that we can go without
Is it
having
to
to
the
go
vault?
past the guards.
Okay, well, that seems reasonable. You can do the talking.
Well, what am I supposed to say?
Say
There's
that
no reason why we would have to be down there.
you're guiding us to the vaults to store our things.
All right, fine, sure.
Thank you.
And they are taking you down the stairs in the ratways,
Your
presumably
assistance in
towards the
this
cellar.
endeavour is most appreciated.
Okay. In the meantime, in the academy.
Meanwhile, at the Academy.
Meanwhile, at the academy.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
Indeed. Meanwhile, in the bathroom.
At the Academy.
At the
In
academy.
the Academy's
Sigmund
bathroom.
you are sitting in your
On the toilet.
Yes,
Yep.
you are sitting in your toilet stall.
On his phone.
How,
Why are you wearing
on
a
your
toilet
throne,
stall?
How are you trying to judge whether the person or the people who are coming in are guards or not? What is your criterion for this? What is your criterion to spring your trap and burst out of your toilet cubicle?
Well, I'm hoping they'll go into the cubicle next to me, and I could like stand on and have a little bit of a look over before they're wearing is.
Okay.
That's the option if they go into the cubicle next to me. If they don't, I'll just maybe kind of like if they're just having a urinal type visit, then
I mean, is there a urinal? Is this like a unisex toilet type deal?
Yeah, there's probably a urinal here.
Yeah, okay.
But it is like sort of like a medieval sort of situation.
Yeah. So that's good. I guess it will just be like Oh, I've got my canteen. What's my canteen made out of? Is it a metal one or is it a like a water? A canteen's made out of metal, isn't it?
You tell me what it's made of.
I mean, I imagine for Sigmund, it'll be like a metal kind of like hip flask type thing.
Yeah. That
so I can
definitely
kind of use that. I could use that a bit like a mirror to kind of like to see if.
Sure. Roll me. Actually, roll me a d10 to see how grimy your canteen is at this point.
Scale of 1 to 10. Oh, very shiny.
1. It is not grimy at all. You actually, this is the one bloody thing that you keep in pristine condition. So you can definitely use that as a mirror. Are you trying to look at the cubicle next to you, or are you trying to look into like the toilet main room, if you will?
Well, it depends on where they are, right? So I'm going to try and I'll give it a little bit of time for them to settle into whatever they're doing, and then I'll.
Well, there's people passing to and from, but and there's not immediately. There are people passing through here, but they're not necessarily using the cubicle next to you. So
Okay. Well, if it
that's
sounds
why I
like
was
some-
asking
if it
what your
sounds-
criterion is
Yeah.
to.
Well, cubicle definitely yes, and just if someone has been like sounds like they're doing something that has their attention, like if they're doing some business, for like 30 seconds or that kind of thing, and we'll see what.
So could you roll me a perception?
Sure.
What's that abbreviation for?
You got too much information.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
sort of trying to steer it a little away from that.
Oh,
but-
no!
Yeah.
You fell in the toilet.
So Sigmund, with a perception of 6,
Or,
You
okay.
come out of the
Okay,
cubicle
stop,
and you
perception
also
six,
crash
perception
into
of
someone
nothing.
carrying
with
a platter full of
perception of
colours.
6, you are listening to outside, and you hear sort of a cling, cling, cling. What sounds like someone walking in with like metal on their clothing, which you assume to be that must be a guard because
Yes.
they have metal on their clothing. So that is clearly the sound of a guard walking in here. You slam open your cubicle door, and you are face to face with the person who has just entered the bathroom.
Okay. Well, I was planning on stealthing rather than slamming, but if I'm face to face, it doesn't make much difference, does it?
It is a crit fail.
Yeah, sure. I'll let you take the.
No, actually, no. I won't take that agency away from you. So you are convinced that there is currently a guard in here.
So this is very Hitman.
Yeah,
like,
you are.
I am wearing.
Absolutely convinced that there is a guard in here right now.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I am wearing my my other disguise, my medical person disguise,
Yes.
and I'll slowly open the door and come out, and then see what's up with my eyes.
Okay. So as you are looking at the at what's going on here right now,
Just leave it
you
30
see
seconds. He's probably turned the other way. And,
you see Dr. Payne, who is in the sink here, washing what seems to be like his metal like surgery tools, and he is mumbling about fucking got my sink clogged, that stupid asshole. Who are you? Wait. And he sort of takes a look at you closely. I'm gonna roll a perception. Yeah, that's pretty high.
I
and
am wearing a mask.
You are wearing a mask, but this does only cover half of the face.
Whatever. This is not a
It's like a
superhero
mouth
story.
mask.
This is a fantasy story. These rules don't apply.
So he looks at you at like the top half of your face, and he looks at sort of the way you look in your big armor and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And he narrows his eyes at you and he says, "PATHCO, eh?"
Well, yep. I was working for PATHCO. I've taken myself a side gig for today. We've been investigating rumours of a spread of the plague. I've been checking this toilet cubicle.
Roll bluff.
Come on, Sigmund. Come on, Sigmund.
I miss being B, where I could add things to rolls after I...
Oh dear. Oh dear. This is what happens when you all leave me. You all start failing.
So, Dr. Payne says, if there was any spread of the plague, even the slightest germ in this entire academy, the first person who would know about it is me.
Clonk.
You're trying to knock him out.
Yeah.
Okay, roll an attack.
I'm panicked. Okay. Right, where was my attacks?
Please do a non-lethal attack, friend.
Yeah, non-lethal, Mace of Spades. Not flanked. Any bonuses? Not power attack. I think.
No, please don't send him through the wall. Oh, that's a hit at least.
Well, yeah, that certainly hits AC. So that is non-lethal, right?
Yeah.
So you slam him with like the butt of the like the pommel of your mace, basically, like the not the flanked part, but the back of it.
The handle.
Yes. And could you roll non-lethal damage, please?
Okay, how do I roll non-lethal damage? Do I just do a normal damage?
Roll it like normal damage,
it's just
I think.
normal, but it's specified as non-lethal.
Yes, it's just specified as non-lethal.
It's pretty good.
Okay, so you... how does non-lethal work? Is it just if non-lethal damage finishes your HP, you are knocked out?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you can
that
have
was my
on
understanding.
this.
Is that you were knocked out, but you're not in like, death saves or anything. You're stable.
Yeah, okay. So you slam your mace down on the temple of Dr. Payne, and he significantly staggers to the side. And he is sort of a little cross-eyed, and he is definitely having to have like give his all to keep his bearing, and he says,
Oh well, I do have multiple attacks if it's counting as.
Mm. Oh yes, you do. And he says, "What are you doing, you weird idiot? Do you think you can take me? I'm Amos Payne. You piece of shit."
Hit him again.
You have multiple attacks, you said,
Lock
so
them
I
in the
will
door.
allow you to make those.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you? Oh yeah, you have probably just have multi-attack, don't
Yeah, I do.
you? Mm.
So my second attack is at a -5.
Okay.
I'm not using the mace. I'm not using the shield of Arbello.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Man, you roll high. Well, you roll to hit
So that
high. Ooh, nice.
wow.
That's probably gonna do
26,
it.
That's a lot.
27. Oh,
Oh
total.
yeah. What's the? Why is it 27 exactly?
Oh, I thought you were saying the total amount of damage. Sorry.
Oh no! I meant the 26 there. So yeah, and that's is that non-lethal?
Mm-hmm.
He is conscious by a strand,
What?
and he, with all his remaining might, raises a fist and says, "You, I figured it'd be sometime soon you'd catch on to me, but don't think I'll go down without a fight, you brainwashed bastard!" And he sort of swipes his hand. Sigmund, could you make a fortitude save?
Okay. Have I just
As
actually?
the-
Oh man.
Have you
As there is
accidentally
a
triggered the
sort of-
mini-boss?
As there is sort of a golden light, sort of a yellowish golden light that blares up, and he swipes it. 21, however, is very good, so you're slightly knocked back by the whatever force that he is casting happens, but it doesn't affect you terribly. And he says, "Oh, bugger. Fine. If that's what you must take me, then. Do whatever you did to old Olaf, you dick."
Is that what he says?
Yeah. That is what he says.
And like Sigmund's just like Sigmund's got the Mace of Spades raised above his head, and is just like, wait. Okay, come into my office, and he gestures him into the into the toilet. And says, "Well, I think we need to talk. I think we might be on." And I think we could skip over to Dave at this point.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds like a plan.
I really hope
Like
that...
Sigmund looks like he's about to do it, and he's just like, "Wait, hold on a second. I think we should probably talk."
Yeah. Come into my office.
Coming into my office.
So Dave, you are at the library.
Yep.
And could you roll me? Well, actually, no. I think that the system of the library is pretty straightforward. You quickly divine that
I'm an
the
educated boy.
letters at the start of I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm an educated boy. I can.
Yes,
figure
you
this out,
are
I'm
a
sure.
very educated boy.
The most educated
So-
boy.
You quickly define that the letters in front of the codes stand for the department.
Mhm.
So AE is chemical engineering. The
HT.
M is medical.
Medical.
The HT that actually just has to be H, not HT, and that is just
Oh.
histories.
Do I have any idea what the synthesis of complex sugars might be? That sounds like a medical one, or maybe an alchemical one. I guess he'll look when he gets there.
So the AE and 245 and 411, as you are looking around for them, both seem to be checked out.
Oh.
The H one, so in the history department, One of them says, as a title, Treatise on Blackwater's Founding and the Old City. And the other one, that is, wait, I'll just copy it.
Thanks.
That is Treatise on Blackwater's Founding and the Old City.
And was that, which number was that?
That's H941.
H941. Oops, there we go. Cool. What about 250?
And
Is that taken out as well?
Yes, the other H1 is also checked out.
Bollocks.
And the medical one is called Uptake and Degradation of Ingested RPE, so Regenerative Positive Energy Compounds.
Okay.
So those are the books that you can immediately find. The other two are checked out. The other three, rather.
Can I find any sign of a book called Synthesis of Complex Sugars?
Yes, that seems to be here
Okay.
in the alchemical department. And yeah, it's just like a crappy old book that is sitting in a corner. And as you open it, you can see that the like the cover has been like taped together.
I think I'll probably just extract the note and put the book back.
So as you open it up, you can slide from between the two halves of the cover a stack of like about 10 papers that has been like folded up and crammed in there.
Well,
And yeah, those are the notes.
can I ask the librarian, I assume there is one, in the
Yes, there definitely
alchemical
is.
engineering department, who took out the other books, or when I could expect them back, or both?
Oh yes.
Really.
She says, well, as for which one did you say? Oh, so AE 411.
And 245.
That's yes. Well, 245 is a bit of an odd case. It's been missing for a while, actually. I think.
Really?
I
How
think the
long?
last one to borrow it was. Oh, I think all of Peachwood did borrowed it. And he took it to read, but well, they never found it in his office and not in his home either. So I don't know what he would have done with it, but it's certainly not here.
Must have locked it away somewhere.
Old bastard. Should learn to put books back into their library before
Yes,
going
right.
and being murdered.
What about the other one?
And she says, as for 411, let's see, which one is that? Analysis of energy polarity. That's a good one as well.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It's checked out on the name of Vasilia Morprain. From the medical department, apparently. Seems to be that she'll have it for the coming week before she has to pay fines. Assuming that she returns it on time.
I hope so.
I
Do you
will
have
give
any
you
other
that
copies
name.
of either of those, or do you have just the one?
Let me see. Well, I'm afraid that number 245, Primary Principles of Red Plain Alchemy, was the only copy we had left. I might have another copy of Analysis of Energy, but I'll have to go and take a look.
Okay.
So, if you're,
What was that first one
just-
called? Principles of Red something alchemy?
Yes, Primary Principles of Red Plain Alchemy. I'll give it to you here. That's the
Yes.
title. So there's that. That's been missing. I really wouldn't know what he would have done with it, and where he would have put it. I mean, where do you even take a book if you don't put it at home? You don't put it in your office
Yeah, that is weird, and it's really inconvenient. I was really, it was gonna be really useful.
somewhere. Would be just like. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. I was just, I was just looking forward to reading these books, so they're gonna be really useful for my research.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to check whether I have another copy of Analysis of Energy Polarity. So, well, if you can come back here in 10 minutes or so, I'll probably have something to say to you.
Yeah, sure. I can wait. I can wait around. I'll have a look and see what else I can find that might be
Okay,
useful.
yeah. So, she disappears for a moment. Is there anything particular that you want to do while she's...
Can I consult my map and see where I might be able to buy academic books in the city? If I get them in the library, I can get them somewhere else.
Well, there's always the merchant's house, where a lot of things are traded.
And with my dear friends
And you
are
can
right
roll me,
now.
actually, because you've been here for
A little
2
bit.
days, you can roll me a knowledge local as well.
Yes. Do I want to roll it, or do I just want to take my 10? I'll roll it. It's more interesting if I roll. Nice.
Okay, that's very good. So you've also, as you've been carousing through the city, you've heard some people talk about, like, some places in the entertainment district that peddle, literature and stuff from the Midlands.
Alright.
Because, and this is something that you've grown increasingly aware of, like all the books that you have consulted in this library seem to be authored here in Blackwater. So it seems that literature from outside of Blackwater is pretty scarce. But you know that in the entertainment district, which is in the direction of number 30, 31, etc., there are some places where unapproved literature is being peddled.
Well, I know at least that the literature we want at the moment is approved, since it was in the library.
It's
But
true.
it could
This
be
is
a
true.
good place to go if they don't have any in the Merchants Guild.
Indeed.
But I might wait until later for that.
Remember, you also have a formerly academic contact who might know a bit more about that sort of thing.
Would that be Brenner? One back? Oh man, I've already forgotten. Oh, Chadwick, of course, duh.
Well, Chatwig, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the library lady returns, and she says, "Ah, well, looks like I've actually found one."
Oh, great, thanks.
She dusts it off. It's been lying in the back stocks for a while. Here we go, Sonny.
Okay.
And it reads Analysis of Energy Polarity Volume 1, Positive Energy.
Cool, thank you.
There you go.
Dave is going to try so hard to get to return these afterwards.
Mm.
He feels so bad about taking them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got
Okay.
AE 411, the analysis of energy. I've got the treatise on Blackwater's founding in the old city, and I've got the uptake and degradation of regenerative positive energy. But I don't have.
Okay, so there is
The other two.
one that you have currently not
Oh, is there only one?
checked out yet. So History 250.
Oh, right, yes. I thought that one was taken out.
Thought you'd what exactly?
I thought that
I
had been taken
Didn't quite
out.
catch that.
H250.
Yes, that was. You don't have that indeed, so that was checked out. But I was just saying that is one that you haven't checked up on yet.
Oh, right. Can I do that now?
Do you want to consult the librarian of the history department as well?
Yeah, I might as well. It worked out this time. Pretty much she or he
Okay,
might all
yeah,
day.
sure.
might have a copy as well.
This is an old dwarvish lady, and she says 250. It's checked out. Just the name. Let's see. I'll be back here tomorrow, actually, and it's on the name of Camilla Scarn. I actually know her. She's what's this? Lives in the industrial district, doesn't she? She's actually a friend of my aunt's mother, I believe. Family relations gets very complicated.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I know.
Anyway, I think I saw her once or twice on a family party. She's She lives in the industrial district. And I think she's a student at histories, but she's a clerical aspirant, I think. At least I remember her being involved with it. That's all I can tell you.
Do you have any other copies of this book, or does she have the only one? I mean, I know I can wait till tomorrow, but sooner I can get started on
250.
this,
Let me
better.
check. Let me check the ledger for a moment. And she goes through things. She says, "No, I'm afraid not.
Oh,
There's
man.
everything that we've got multiple copies of is." I muted the mic for a second to sneeze.
Bless you.
Everything that we've got multiple copies of is always it's always the engineers. It's the medical ones. They're the ones who get the up-to-date books. We're just stuck with old stuff. And this, what's this? Chronicles of Saint Sartoria, Volume 4, Angelic Hosts. That's an old one. That's pretty outdated too. It's, 5 years ago. Yeah, that's old stuff.
Ah, well, I'll come back tomorrow then.
Alright, very well.
Dave will leave.
There's the title, by the way.
Yeah, I got it. But thanks anyway.
Alright.
So we're just missing 2 books.
Indeed.
That's
Yep,
about
so
all
you
Dave
have those
wanted to do.
books. Indeed. So
Unless,
in the
like,
meantime,
The act of
yes,
sorry,
go
did the act the magic thing that Pain did to Sigmund make any noise that I could have heard?
Not from here, because the
Okay.
library is reasonably far away
Okay.
from Sigmund's lair. So, I think it's currently 9. You guys want to continue on a little bit until we are at a more satisfying stopping point?
I feel like if we get back to Glanvar and Thorat, that's like quite a long thing, and I need to take some painkillers. My back is killing me. I would rather
Yeah, I'm pretty
lie down
done.
for a bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
For Sigmund's perspective, I mean, cutting when he takes Pain into his office, I think
Yeah,
I'm
that
happy
sounds
with
very
That's
good.
pretty
That
good.
is pretty good.
Mm.
I also enjoyed ending it on the whole sort of threatening people thing. So
Yep, that was very good.
Oh, guys, we've really fucked this up.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's an
Yeah.
interesting situation.
I was fine.
We
See,
fucked
what
that
we
with Path-
need. What we need is 2 halflings.
No, I thought we were going to at least get another session before we really fucked up. Apart from Dave. Dave is the best.
Dave is the
as
party
always
face
the
and
way.
therefore I'm good at this kind of thing.
Yes.
Glanvar is normally good at this kind of thing, but decided to roll 2 natural ones
Decided to
In a
avoid
row!
Apollyon
In
spell.
in a row
Well,
on the things that you
Napoleon
get plus
effect.
16 on normally.
mm.
Jesus.
I'm just gonna
Shameful.
go sit and cry.
I don't know how next week's working, but I'm assuming we're taking it off. I'm away for Easter.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're away, I mean, I'm around.
Mm.
Saturday is still not.
From Thursday to Monday.
Okay. How about No, I can't really do weekdays either. Can you guys do Friday? Coming Friday?
Well, Jack can't.
I'm
No,
away.
I can't do Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
Then
work
figure
it out.
Then we'll
We can
figure it
figure
out.
off stream.
Worst comes
Let's
to worst.
end the
2
stream
weeks till
first.
PATHCO.
Yes.
Thanks for coming to PATHCO.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.